But before we learn about anything about that, it is Christmas Day, Carole's birthday, and that means we get to
Woohoo!
hear we get to hear someone sing "Happy Birthday." This song brought to you by uh, fucking 100 years of IP lawsuits as to whether or not anyone owns the Happy Birthday song, finally ending with no one owns the Happy Birthday song, you fucks. Hello and welcome to Is That Some Kind of Japanimation Thing? A series that is sending our love down that gravity well. My name is Scott.
And I am Justin.
And we are brought to you by Hobby Link Japan, home of imported collectibles, consumables, cosplayables, whatever you might need. You can find it there. They have discontinued the snack section, which is upsetting to us all. I'm gonna say it.
I mean, there are choices that have to be made, and snacks sitting in storage for 12 to 18 months while they wait for the international situation to resolve.
Yeah,
Possibly,
yeah.
possibly not the best.
I'm not gonna. You know what? I don't want a private warehouse. I don't want to use their generous private warehouse option for Kit Kats because there are other ways to get Kit Kats, and the private warehouse is for waiting until you have a big pile of model kits, and then they ship them to you. That's a good way to use the private warehouse. The private warehouse policy, pretty good. The pre-order policy, they tried to make it more fair, but it hasn't worked out. I hope they revise that revision, those rules soon. But again,
Sounded like you called it the pre-hoarder policy, and I'm like, well, that's harsh. I mean, everyone likes to take their chance.
But like, whomst among us does not have a few too many model kits or toys just packed away waiting for a good spot. Whomst.
Or games.
Games
You're
for
lucky
sure.
This is not a video podcast, folks.
Yeah,
What's behind me?
Oh God. Yeah, Kick Hoarder. That's gonna be my fulfillment service that competes with Backer Kit, I think. But HLJ.com, the link is in the description. That lets us know we sent you, and then we can earn dozens of cents on your orders. You can also, if you really just like us, if you're one of the two guys who likes us, you can just buy us a Ko-fi. Ko-fi.com, link in the description. Specifically Brad, has just piled on the donations so hard that we now actually have to explain every goddamn legal shenanigan related to the Macross franchise I can find, which means I am doing a lot of research into specifically who owns what part of Macross in between Satellite, Studio New, Tatsunoko, and Big West. This was settled in like the Japanese Supreme Court, and you know what? I don't read well enough to interpret Supreme Court documents.
Japanese?
Yeah. Anyway, so yes.
Well, all I'm saying is surely someone has developed an artificial intelligence which can translate and, oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I wish. But the important thing is that we are actually going to do that episode. That'll be the next thing in the feed. It'll probably be a video episode because I'm going to make slides. This feels like a thing that needs slides to me. But
you need to be able to follow along at home, folks. We're not going to be providing you with a handout. Although we may possibly
well, we might just make the slides available as a series of JPEGs, and that'll be linked. Yeah. Will the slides be available on the course website? Okay, the first time I went to university, that was a valid question, but then I went back to school 10 years later and people were still asking that, and I'm like, You motherfuckers. I don't know who hurt you, but I'm pretty sure by now the slides are available on the course website.
Assume it by default. If there's an issue there, then you can have a word with your instructor.
Your instructor is probably old and maybe making a point about the availability of slides and how that relates to attendance.
Oh.
But enough about my academic career. Let's talk about a cartoon where girls play songs good. Carole and Tuesday, released on Netflix, animated by Bones. We are into episode 21. It's Too Late, directed by Tsuyoshi Kobita, who worked on Mashal and My Hero Academia. I might be doing a ridiculous prank related to Mashal in the near future, so keep an eye on this feed.
Oh my God, what's he gonna do?
Oh, it's going to be if I can make it happen, it's going to be brilliant. You're gonna spend months laughing about it.
Oh, excellent. We'll
But
look forward to this.
But also written by Kimiko Ueno, who did work on Space Dandy and Chinimo. And we start with the fact that Dahlia's health situation is bad. It's bad. It's going downhill fast. Also, there's this nurse that is just doing the anti-paparazzi shit, and I'm like, nurses, obviously, all heroes, all candidates for sainthood, but like, no, why is a nurse like blocking Angela's limo right now? That's not anywhere near her job.
Allow me to return to my limited knowledge of the entertainment industry, Scott. But I believe Angela is at a level of popularity and hence making money for a publisher. She should have security, especially in an incredibly public place like the hospital where she's visiting her dying parents.
Also, there are robots that do this, right? We have established that there are robots that do this. There are the lyrics.
Send the big fridge boys out.
Yes, the fridges on wheels that like were assaulting Roddy 2 episodes ago. That they're available probably.
There's probably an app for that.
Like that's it. You can rent these on the short term.
Gooner. Nope. Sorry, nope. That's can't call that. Don't want that.
Nope. That word's gone now.
They've taken it away.
Hench, though. Hench is definitely the app where you get, like, Bond
Hench
villain.
with a 3 instead of an E.
Yes, Hench with a 3 is where you get, like, Bond villain interns. So, we have the meeting with the Grammys team, because Carole and Tuesday are going to do a song at the Grammys. And Gus is fine. Gus will make this happen. Gus is going to solve this problem about having to do a song at the Grammys. He'll be fine. It's like you got to do something big at the Grammys, though. So you got to bring in a collaborator, and Gus is going to bring in the collaborator. Now, Gus has solved most of their problems by losing all their money at the dog track, so this will be fine. It's fine. Highest hopes.
He makes choices. You know, he's not at his heart a bad person. He's not a great person, though. I mean, God.
As we get into the end game, I think he just is. I think he's almost rational, where it's like, okay, no, literally we have nothing. I may as well try to double it at the dog track. And then, like, in 2 episodes, when he actually has money, it's like, oh, yeah, no, we'll just do the thing. Like, I don't have to do any bullshit. The girls have finished up recording all their library tracks, and they're feeling pretty confident. And then Toby says, all right, no pressure. But you need one song to close this album, and it has to be new. You go write that.
Yeah.
I'm Toby, no pressure.
He will hurl things at them. Well, towards them, but not at them.
The empty bottle has to go somewhere. It may as well go in the general area of the person you're trying to improve the performance of.
I would assume there'd be a recycling container right next to where you get the full bottle.
Yeah. I mean,
Japan.
A well set up studio should just have a cooler for full bottles and a box roughly the same size for empty bottles.
There you go.
I'm not saying modern recording studios have really well position sharps containers, but maybe they should.
Oh,
Carol's birthday's coming up, and Tuesday is off to the Christmas market to find a present for Carol, because her birthday's Christmas. That's the joke. And Roddy's there to help. And you know what my notes say here, Justin?
what are your notes, Scott?
Roddy must suffer. Because
Did
of
he?
course.
I mean, I never offer to buy anyone anything that I don't know the price of, Scott. Ever. Like, I will be generous, but I like to say,
Oh, do you like that one? Oh, that's cool. That one. Oh, that's cool. That's nice though. That's real cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I assume Roddy could have afforded like okay, the actual thing is that Tuesday has grown up among rich people and wants to buy
Yes.
a real Christmas tree.
Yes.
This is Mars where there are no trees. This is an important piece of Doom lore explaining why there are chainsaws on Mars. But no, there are no trees on Mars, so they are imported and very expensive. I bet if he, I bet if he had just said, yeah, let's find a nice reusable plastic or aluminum tree, Roddy could have been the hero. But no, he just agreed to buy a real fucking tree for these two women, and not even like a small one. What we see is they have bought
a lot of trees.
Yeah, they bought because their apartment is a loft and has 2 layers. They can go to like 11 feet on a tree, and I'm like, he buys an 11-foot Douglas fir. This is the small. This is like a Hallmark movie, a Hallmark Christmas special grade tree. And yes, there are many digits in the price of that tree, but I'm like, dude, we got a little one. Even a little real tree would have gotten you 1 million boyfriend points.
Yes.
Yeah, no, my notes just say this is the opposite of Charlie Brown because they also have all the decorations for it too.
Yes.
Fully decorated by the time Carole walks into the house. It's like, oh, do you want to help us decorate it? Where? Like, you've got so many balls and stars on this. This tree is done.
I mean, Carol speaks like the type who would occasionally pick up a Christmas ornament because she thinks it's nice, and And next thing you know, there's a box. And next thing you know, oh, we got a tree. Let's put all these Christmas ornaments she's owned for years. I'm just headcanoning that. But sure. Also, Roddy's generosity.
Unstoppable, that boy.
I mean, that's like 2 or 3 Gundam he's not going to be able to buy.
Oh, absolutely. He has had to forgo so many resin figures of Gundams, and the girls who pilot those Gundams are just not they're out of his budget for a number of years.
Do you think Hobby Link Japan has a Mars delivery option?
I'm sure they'll get there. I'm sure once the first round of Elon's space guinea pigs die and a sensible organization builds a Mars colony on the wreckage of that shit. HLJ will absolutely ship Gundams up there.
Gundams to Mars does sound like a really fun show, though. I got to admit.
That's just iron-blooded orphans. It's not fun.
Okay.
It ends in tragedy. One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Is that on the itinerary? Are we looking forward to that?
I don't know if we'll ever do a full Gundam season, but we will. The Christmas special list includes War in the Pocket. And anyway, Gus is asking Hoffner's help for tracking down a collaborator for the Grammys, and Hoffner's like, dude, we're friends. I like you, but you need to learn how to schedule a meeting. This is a skill you need to develop. You need to
someone who works as a manager should be able to realize the people you talk to are busy people. So
periodically I will just say, like, my deep millennial flaw, one of my deepest millennial traits is like, I will email someone to ask them when is a good time to call.
That's
And
very polite.
to me it sounds polite, but every time I talk to someone older than me, they're just like, "No, you just call people." I'm like, "No,
I
you
mean,
don't
you
do
can do
that.
that. You
Don't do
can do
that.
that. And if they're
You
not available, they will let it go to voicemail, Scott. It's fine.
No, that's not how it works. Not how it
Ah,
works at all. Calling it all is an expression of urgency, and you need to soften that expression by
not during
asking when.
business hours. I mean, if you're not in the same organization and can see their calendar, then a ping is now good. Or,
Yeah.
but we're looking into different things that have nothing to do with Martian musicians.
No, speaking of things that have nothing to do with Martian musicians, Mars ice less dystopian than real ice.
It's, they're brutal.
Yeah. Like literally they are just cracking down on people, and also but just like just they are running around and targeting specific individuals for breaching, this crackdown on free expression in music, and some people just get hit. Some people
Yeah,
just get hit.
they're not good. It's bad
Amar's
publicity.
able to record from his prison cell though, with
Yes,
the
he was
ice
able.
guys using their own phones to film the music video.
When you find yourself in a place where you have fans, I guess, go nuts. And he
Yeah,
blocked that very well too. I mean, it came out very nicely.
it's really great. Angela is starting to do her own detective work related to her background and Dahlia and Tao. That'll eventually pay off. That'll eventually pay off. But in the meantime, we learn that Carol believes that Santa doesn't visit orphans, which is true. Yeah. No, Santa doesn't visit poor kids.
That's a hard knock life.
The sun might come out tomorrow. We see the slow simmer of the Jerry, Spencer, Valerie, Kyle plot heat up because Spencer is trying to worm his way back into Jerry's circle just so he can leak more information to Kyle.
Yeah.
That's that piece of the pie. Erdogan has somehow, after two public appearances, has bought his house back and will be presenting Best New Artist at the Mars Grammys.
He is he's gotten a new sponsorship. I think that's it.
That's it. Like he is.
You don't see the commercials, but he is going
Oh,
hardcore for
oh
Mars
yeah.
Energy Drink.
There is some kind of new kind of Mountain Dew that is synonymous with him, and that's it.
Mountain Dew Erdogan Blast. That sounds terrible too. Why do I say these things? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you, Myra? Wow. Anyway, yes,
Yeah.
but some sort of energy drinks, they have no shame.
No, absolutely shameless. Angela is just openly consuming tons of pills.
On
Uh,
the pills.
Netflix, because this is on Netflix, they can just write the name of the real life drug that is on those pills.
Aha.
This would not be the case in Japan. They'd be non-specific pills.
Now the bunny was talking to her. Was that a hallucination, or did someone
No,
take control of it?
that's definitely a hallucination because Tao tore the bunny apart last episode
He
in
did.
order
That
to
bunny
find
wept.
the spyware.
Very sad bunny.
Sad bunny. Also sad bunny Angela, because she goes to Tao's office and there's the fake Angela there to tell her how to do her new song for the Grammys. And she's not ready to hear her negative self-talk turned into a hologram, which is why she
Yes.
smashes the hologram. Look, if someone ever turned my negative self-talk into a hologram, there are not enough baseball bats in the world to
Their
satisfy me and how
conversations
destroyed that
to be
hologram
had.
would be.
I mean, the hologram, and I'm not saying the programmer would be entirely safe either.
No,
There's
I
boundaries here,
yeah.
regardless of what they may have snuck into a contract.
Uh, so the girls have put together a new song. Their final song. They're recording it in a church just for the acoustics. They discuss what an artist can do in an unjust world. Toby volunteers to play pipe organ on this track. And he also explains themes. He sets up themes for the next few episodes. Toby's a good guy, except for being drunk and abusive and loud.
He's a good guy with a lot of problems that he needs to work on.
Unpack. He needs to be a more supportive collaborator. But we get the Grammys. Crystal, legendary performer only alluded to in previous episodes, will be their collaborator on stage, and they do the new song.
Yes.
It's great. Angela shows up to do her new song. She's high as fuck and passes out on stage.
Uh-huh.
Just on stage. Does not go well. Even though she won. She did win.
Yes.
And over the end credits, we see that Hal is up to stuff. Hal is doing Batman shit right now. He is unraveling parts of the plot. Otherwise, people do not have access to.
So, did you get any sort of vibe from Crystal? Like I mean, she's like a Madonna Gaga type, but perfect.
I think,
she's
yeah,
not,
like
doesn't have the weird things in her.
She's uncomplicated. I think, like she is the older pop performer, and like unlike Flora, where she's this pop performer we admire, and we find out she's not doing well and has failed. We just see, no, she's uncomplicated. Like, other than being an obstacle of like, we have to impress her to get her to do this duet, this this featured verse on our next single. It's her life is not really anything. Like, it's interesting because like she's the only artist who we gets added to the cast that isn't complicated or interesting. It's just like, no, she's fine. She's getting along. She's like Cher, maybe. Like, Cher has most of her stuff figured out by now. Like, tours, residencies in Vegas. Just happy to work with people if they're interesting. Let's say Cher. Let's
give it a share.
Dolly. Maybe Dolly. Yeah. I finally watched the Orville all the way to the end, and the Dolly Parton episode. Brilliant.
I have a complicated relationship with the Orville. But,
that's fair.
That's fair. If there's a Dolly Parton episode, I'll watch it.
It's at the end. It also is it plays, Dolly Parton plays into the ongoing trans alien storyline.
Okay.
So like literally the like first openly female Mocklin is like becomes a huge admirer of Dolly Parton, and then they use the holodeck to simulate Dolly Parton to have them. It's great.
Oh, does Dolly actually appear on the episode?
Yes. Dolly Parton for real. Episode comes to a complete.
My head, Scott.
Episode comes to a complete stop for her to play a new song, like classic Star Trek would have done. Any TV show from the 60s would just come to a complete stop, so the musical guest would play a new song. Or sometimes just one of the main characters.
Jr.'s appearance on the original series episode.
Like,
what the heck? Let's go ahead, babe.
2 Sammy Davis Jr. episodes of All in the Family remain brilliant, but neither of them had a song. It was weird.
It was the 70s. They were beyond that stuff.
They thought they were smarter than that. Being smarter than that, we will move on to episode 22, Just Like Heaven, directed by Shohei Miyake, who did Spriggan and Dragon Pilot, episodes on both of those. Written by Yasuhiro Nakanishi, who, of course, was series composer on Reincarnated as an Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. And, so many episodes of Kaguya-sama. So many.
Good to keep busy.
Good to keep busy. Also, whenever I encounter a title that long, I have to read the whole thing just so I can see Justin react to how long the title keeps going.
I I mean, how far can they go? Because at some point they'll be. I mean, Japanese characters are different, and you could probably put an entire word in one.
Look,
Bring it
look,
on. I love it every time. I love it every
when
time.
when Twitter went to 280 characters, Japan was just like, great. Like Germany was like, finally, I can get to the verb without threading this thing. And Japan was like, oh man, I can fully express myself with 280 characters. English did fine. We got
English
more
was always
punctuation. I think in English I was just like, oh, I can use all my punctuations now. That was
dropped
what I
in an
got.
occasional adverb. It's all good.
Yeah, adverbs, adjectives, very good. So Carol and Tuesday are meeting with the team from the Grammys. We get a bit of politeness judo with Crystal. Bit of politeness judo with Crystal. We have a new song and the determination that we actually need to get political.
You do,
How?
kids.
How has gone full hacker man. He has disappeared into the 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 backwoods of his own secret bunkers and the dark web to figure things out. Also, Angela is asking him for help all the time, and he is leaving her on red. I understand he has his own priorities, but this is not especially responsible for someone who is basically her only support at this point, and he probably knows that.
And he sort of has gotten her into the current situation.
A little bit, yes. Carol and Tuesday have to write a song about the current horrors, but isn't about the horrificness of it. That's their self-imposed challenge. Everyone else is fine. Every other character is fine writing about the horrors as they are, but they're like, no, we gotta have some idealism. We get a montage of them writing, and we see just this ever-growing wall of stuff that they're putting. They're just putting index cards on the wall to try to write this
Mhm.
song.
The songwriting montage with a possible cameo by a murder board.
Yep. Angela just doing drugs. Crystal's in favor of the new song. Jerry's AI has spotted Kyle and Spencer meeting. Jerry has figured out that, oh, they're turning against me. How do I do anything
Mhm.
about this? But before we learn about anything about that, it is Christmas Day, Carol's birthday, and that means we get to
Woohoo!
hear we get to hear someone sing "Happy Birthday." This song brought to you by a fucking 100 years of IP lawsuits as to whether or not anyone owns the Happy Birthday song, finally ending with, no one owns the Happy Birthday song, you fucks.
That was honestly, I was a little surprised when that popped up. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And I refer to it as the legally ambiguous happy birthday performance.
Yep.
Although
No,
it's no longer ambiguous.
nope. They figured it out. They solved that. Dahlia is dying. She
Mhm.
admits to Angela that Angela is adopted and drops some details and then just dies.
No closure. Come on, Dahlia. Give the girl something.
Nope, no closure. Uh, we get the Grammy ceremony featuring Fancy Gus, white
Yeah.
tux, black jeans, white tuxedo jacket, black jeans, presumably blue Converse All Stars. I think he goes blue Converse All Stars with his not quite fancy outfit.
He knows how to match. He knows how
Yeah.
to accessorize. Are shoes an accessory or are they just part of the outfit? I don't know, Scott. I am poorly dressed at all times.
Perhaps we could get the man who is mean about menswear on Twitter to explain. He's not mean. Well, he is
He's not.
mean, but only to
Oh,
people that deserve it. He's very informative. He
yes.
will he will look at
He's a force
someone's
for good.
he is a force for good. He will look at someone's outfit and explain the history of shoulder pads in menswear, and also just drag you for wearing the wrong kind. Some conservative figure for having the wrong kind of shoelace.
If you're in the manosphere, you should just not even come to town that day. Just go home, hide under your bed,
Look,
because he'll find you.
if Derek Guy has something to say about how your choice of socks, delete your account. If he has singled that you out for your choice of socks, delete your account. No, everyone, we get the Grammys, we get Carole and Tuesday's new song Crystal, very good. We get some direct engagement with Val's politics over there. Angela wins, but yeah, she's too drugged out. She passes out in the middle of the song, and we get the end credits over her being rushed to a hospital.
They were actually very good.
Oh, no.
Well, I thought they were very good.
No, I liked both songs this time. I like that the last few episodes are using the end credits to just keep the story going.
I did want to point out that all the crowd shots in this episode were static.
Oh, yeah.
No one reacted to any of the performances. Did they run out of budget? Was it like, all right, can't afford any moving crowd shots? All right, girls.
Crowd shots are the hardest thing. Literally. And if you see someone do a crowd shot and people are moving, that's a tremendous flex for a TV show. Hell, Macross Plus, which had presumably triple the budget per episode that this did in 1980s money. And they were like, actually, we're going to zombify the crowd so we don't have to draw crowd reactions. we're going to have that. We're going to establish that early so that we do not have to draw any crowd reactions. That's just how that goes.
And I will point out that they have Chekhov's Country Guy.
Oh, Country Guy. Yeah. Like the one guy, later on, almost everyone previously mentioned will come back, but we need to be like, oh yeah, best new artist is this country guy.
Yeah.
He'll be back later.
Yeah.
They spent money on his character design and they're going to make use of it.
Just clone him 50,000 times and put him in the audience. So I'm browsing through the fandom wiki. And they just stopped. It was like, I don't even know if they made it into season 2.
Look, it depends on, these projects run on enthusiasm, so the idea that, you shed users even a little bit, you just shed users over time, and they can't get things done. Yeah, that's fine. That happens. Again, I have tremendous, beef with the Gundam Wiki. And the only reason why the Gundam Wiki has episode summaries of every episode of Gundam for 50 years of material is because they're stealing them from someone else.
Do they at least source that?
No, they don't.
At least say?
No, they don't.
Ooh.
They don't. I think this piece of vandalism is still standing. But one of the episodes, there is exactly one episode of Mobile Fighter G Gundam where I have just deleted the episode summary and written, hey, someone should write a summary of this episode and not plagiarize Chris Guanche.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Wow. Harsh yet hilarious, Scott. I agree.
But we move on to episode 23. Don't Stop Believin'. The power chords of pop. The most important chord progression. Don't Stop Believin'. Directed by Noriyuki Nomada, who directed 2 episodes of Fight League, the ONA, as well as Monsuno. Written by Deko Ako, longtime writer, contributor to this show. Plenty of that. I'm just going to highlight that she was series composer on Arakawa Under Bridge, Frame Arms Girl, and Terrified Teacher at the Ghoul School.
That's a nice title.
That's a good title, and props to the localization team for stretching whatever word that was not ghoul in Japanese. It was absolutely yokai. This is Yokai Academy. Yeah, this is scared instructor at Yokai Academy, and then they're like, No, we're doing Ghoul School. Come on.
We're doing alliteration at the beginning and rhyming in the back. That is the title equivalent of a mullet.
Yep. Yep.
But so
Look,
I approve. I would watch that.
it does
I
sound pretty
mean,
good, actually.
okay, I thought you were about to tell me that was a huge mistake and I would be
No,
destroying it.
I have not. I've only read the summary of this, and I'm like, no, this seems like an okay comedy. Maybe it's horribly misogynistic. I don't know, but I'd give it a try. I'd give it a try.
Give it a go. Come on, yeah.
Give it a run. Angela. And Angela has overdosed for realsies and is going to spend some time in space hospital, recover from that. Dahlia, which also
Not
means
enough
she
time
will
to
be,
detox, unfortunately.
yeah. Uh, it also means that Angela will not be at her own mother's funeral.
Mm.
Also not at her funeral, also not at Dahlia's funeral, Gus. Because Gus isn't ready to admit his arch nemesis is gone.
That would be harsh. Like I
That's
honestly,
my read on it. Honestly, like my read
I
watching
thought
that
at the
scene.
Grammys, it's like, how is he feeling not having her there?
Oh
Because
yeah,
this is like,
like they would be seated next to each other at the
yeah,
Grammys too. Like how does he deal with not having her to see that? And now she's gone forever. He's never gonna
yeah.
have a chance to spar with her over anything.
We're there for you, Gus.
Gus,
We know
like
your pain.
it's hard to lose a nemesis. It's hard.
Yeah.
But
Think you're gonna love it, but at the end, it's like it's just a hole in your life.
yeah, like you spend so much time dedicated to spite, and then you don't get to really win. Does things to you. Does things to you. We
Not a
see
healthy way to live, I think, though.
no, but losing it that suddenly harder, harder. We get a bit more of the funeral. Carole and Tuesday express their concerns. Um, we see that the cops are just absolutely targeting Skip Collins for being like, I wrote a song about how the police are bad.
Yeah.
Just 2 cars of police harassment. 2 cars.
They're really putting it into it,
Yeah, they really are.
making the effort.
Yeah. The scene where Spencer, Tuesday, and Kyle agree that before we just straight up betray mom in public, maybe Spencer should just talk to mom, talk to Val in person. Maybe she can be reasoned with. Maybe she can walk away from her terrible political positions. Who knows? Who knows? This was came out in 2019 when we believed politicians were capable of conscience, morality. I don't know if we do that anymore.
2019 was a difficult time.
Gus has put the crew together, and he says that, all right, girls, if you want to write a song that confronts the situation, then, well, guess what? Community does beat fascism. The only cure for fascism is community, and we are going to have to put together the jam to end all jams, and we are going to need everyone at it. And Erdogan is like, yes, actually, Erdogan, I have decided to be a good guy now.
He's reborn as a decent human being.
Look, he literally says that if you can't hold idealism, you're just a slave. And I'm like, dude, did you actually grow as a person? Did you spending like a week homeless help you in some way? Did that happen to you, Erdogan?
Let's believe it did. Let's think real deep down that Erdogan grew from that experience.
Maybe he just got his head on straight.
You know, we had hopes. You know, most DJs. I mean, they're not all that mouse dude, but
I mean, Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse, local boy, Milton boy,
Yeah.
but keeps showing up in my local news feeds, and I'm like, love it. No, thanks. Welcome to town. I think he's just like paying for a roller rink or something. God love that guy.
Oh God. If that's all anyone does with their time is just pay for some weird money losing community space, that's great.
Yeah,
Roller
third
rinks
bases,
seem
baby.
fun. Roller rinks seem fun, especially as a venue for a DJ.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's where I got exposed to most of my music. Shot up into your face, skate, 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 skate. Sorry, 80s flashback.
Yeah.
Ah,
Jerry has
Erdogan doing good.
Jerry has figured out that Spencer and Kyle are in cahoots, but Val is starting to experience doubts about Jerry's methods. And then Gus lays out the plan. Gus is like, "All right, we are going to get everybody we know together to jam one protest jam to end all protest jams, and we're going to do it New Year's Day at this venue that we already animated in the first episode. Also, it's now
Yes.
we are now saying that this venue is thematically and symbolically relevant, not just that we already had the background art drawn. We're
Why
gonna
not
get
both?
why not both? You can do two things.
Yes.
You can write a reason for your reuse of assets if you're good at it. If you're good and smart like this. And again, they're only using this venue for the second time. This was not like, oh, this was also the venue of the Mars Grammys. Totally different venue.
Yes.
It's fine.
This is not the bronze.
The opposite, the fact that like every season of Letterkenny, the bar is different because they kept losing the venue. just whatever place they were filming actually did close down, and they have to be like, shame about Modine's burning down for the third time. Now I have to drink at this curling hall.
That is the most small town experience ever. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I
no,
miss the
that
Napa
actually
curling hall.
feels
Yeah.
that's the most small town Ontario thing is like, oh,
I mean, they couldn't book a Legion, obviously.
the bar burned down, so we have to drink at the curling hall now. Tao's office gets raided. Tao is not there, so
No.
he's gone deep. He's hacker man now. He's solving problems about he's turning. There's just this very quick arc where he becomes some sort of superhero for a bit.
Yes.
All
Literal
happening
Batman.
in the background of everything else.
He's every lead character on Person of Interest all of a sudden. And,
Yes. Well, not the big guy. Every other guy, though.
No.
Because the big guy on Person of Interest did not have a deadly sonic attack.
Well, I would substitute that for being, human growth hormone Jesus.
Gus finally visits Dahlia's grave, and he admits that, yes, no, he mourns his antagonist. Pours one out for her.
Yeah.
But in order to write, in order to come up with this new song that will unite Mars against fascism, you know what we're going to need, Justin?
Songwriting montage?
We're going to need a montage.
Yay!
Yeah. And again, we see everyone coming together. Everyone is working their connections. We see people taking phone calls in places they shouldn't. Like we see
performers
just taking calls on stage.
Yes.
Like Space Marilyn Manson is like on stage taking the call from Erdogan, and it's like, dude, you're on stage. You should be like bantering with your audience. You come on, Space Marilyn Manson.
You're definitely more comfortable with it than Carole and Tuesday were. You don't have to draft it ahead of time.
Yeah. At the end of this montage, we return to the girls who have written, well, this one chord might be good. They've got the yips. The pressure is on them. Also, we learned that from the reality show, Piotr and GGK are now working as a duo, which is delightful. Yeah. It's so weird. I'm glad they're getting along.
They're a good team.
They're a good team. Kyle and Spencer, also a good team. They have broken the case wide open. They've got all the details. And Spencer doesn't want to pull the trigger, but Kyle is so ready to pull the trigger, not because he's committed to like exposing space fascism, but because he too hates his mother. And I'm like, I don't think I need this detail from your character right now. I just was like, no, you're just a reporter man. I was ready to accept you as a stock reporter man. I don't need you to hate your mom and encourage our boy Spencer to hate his mom for no reason.
Dude, well, I mean, there are reasons.
Yeah.
She she was going down that path of her own free will.
Yeah. The girls continue to brainstorm a song. Things are starting to come together. Angie admits that she can't sing for herself because she's relied on external validation for everything in her life. Desmond's butler robot is like, "Hey, Desmond, you need to wake up from Desmond's sleep because I think you should
Yes.
be on this single."
Which is like the Odin sleep.
Yeah, it's exactly like Odin Sleep. He does one musical performance that rocks the world, and then must retire to rest for some unspecific amount of time until I don't know, frost giants show up, or frost giants are already defeated. Odin's Sleep is dramatically convenient.
Yes.
We get how, again, this is the most Batman scene of him, where he's just like in this dark bunker talking to his computer, and it's like
It is
shutting.
exactly the Bat Cave from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, it is the Dark Knight cave, and he is like, "Okay, we're shutting down the system now because I've done what I had to do with it. Good luck, Morgan
I was
Freeman."
kind of hoping to see the surveillance machine just detonate.
Yeah,
But I mean, that would be like murdering the artificial intelligence. That would be like.
and then we see that Tao, now that he's actually done the important part of his plot, is like, "Okay, now I can answer Angie's text by just going to her hospital room and giving her a pep talk." The pep talk happens off screen during the credits.
Does it? I thought it happened at the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So the beginning of the next episode, a change is going to come, directed by Motonobu Hori, who did Paradise Kiss and the Bones 25th anniversary special, of which this show was part of. Really, Bones was a studio that was established 25 years before 2019. Do some math for me there.
1984? 1994?
Yes.
94.
Yeah. There we go.
That math is hard. Math is hard.
Maths. Anyway, yeah, this was part of that anniversary celebration. Also, part of the directing team, two-part director, we have Satoshi Takafuji. Wikipedia editors, Satoshi Takato is not a real person. He does not direct anime. I am asking you to fix this for me. I can't, because I have not spent 20 years developing enough reputation as a Wikipedian to just actually fix this fucking thing. Get your shit straight.
We can work on this. We can work on it. We'll get together. We'll collaborate. We'll get,
We'll figure it out.
If, assuming I'm on a computer whose IP address has not been banned from editing Wikipedia, should be able to help with that stuff. It's okay. Okay, people make mistakes. That's one of the joys of life. That the guy of Bitcoin can accidentally be thought to also have directed some episodes of anime.
Satoshi Takafuji directed Yozakura Quartet, Call of the Night, and this episode was written by Shinichiro Watanabe, who is also known for doing a bunch of storyboards on this show. He did animated cutscenes for Capricorn, the game. He directed episodes of Shippu Iron Leaguer and Armor Hunter Mellow Link. Also, he's the Cowboy Bebop guy and the guy who created this show.
Excellent, very important.
Yeah,
Thank you for all your work.
Guys coming in at the end to be like, nope, this is my last one. And Tao reveals to Angela that both Tao and her are genetically engineered super babies. By the way,
Yeah.
both of them are Khans, Nooney, and Singh, destined to pursue the eugenics wars against the people of Earth in World War III, unless World War III is a different thing than the eugenics wars. Sometimes the lore on that gets wobbly. Anyway,
It's a little inconsistent.
that happened in 1994, or will happen soon, or will happen at some point. That's all Romulan time agents, though. When the eugenics were to happen, all Romulan time agents.
Those clean-blooded bastards. What if Sean Connery played Dr. McCoy? Dr. McCoy, you mean? No, stop it.
Anyway, Tau gives her a bit of support as her genetically engineered super brother says, "All right, you can do this for yourself. You can move ahead in your life. Also, I'm going to disappear and never be heard from again, as I'm wanted by the law, pretty much.
For now.
He'll probably pop back up in a year or 3.
Martial law is ambiguous.
Martian law ambiguous. Kyle and Spencer have one last meeting, and as they are meeting on a bridge, assassins. Just assassins. Dudes who want to do bad things to Kyle and Spencer, and they agree that Kyle agrees that the only way to avoid these people is to fling themselves off a bridge into a river.
Yes.
In December. The climate control
plan.
We don't
know how Martian winter is. Okay, true. The climate control plan still not entirely.
Not all the way up there. This is not a refreshing dip. This is you are being flung into some serious chilly water. As we see that both of them have head colds for the rest of the episode. Carole has a nice moment of heart-to-heart with her landlord, who has never said anything. I think at this point he has said, nothing. He said some non-specific things to some paparazzi, but she just expresses some gratitude for, hey, you rented me this loft at way below market rates. Can I keep living here? He's like, yeah, sure. I mean, it does seem like
an actual...
full rent now. Full rent. Market rent. Market rent. Yeah. The neighborhood's great, but you got to pay me market rent now. I know you have a record deal.
I don't know what the Martian Landlord-Tenant Act looks like, but I think he's entitled to a slight increase.
Periodic increases over at each renewal period, yes. Tau's dad gets arrested because Tau just dumped the entire everything Tau's dad did wrong with AI document on the world. And, again, in 2019, you could dump a big pile of documents into the public record, and then the people who did bad things in those in those documents, they'd suffer consequences.
I mean, Scott, the Panama Papers did not change anything.
God, those guys still haven't paid fucking taxes. None of those guys. But we see that Spencer and Val, they actually confront each other, and Val looks at all the data and says, "Oh, I'm a person of conscience and moral conviction, and I will. I'll just fire Jerry and drop out of the race for president of Mars. I'll do a good thing." Yeah. But we cut to...
And this is before the song gets performed, right?
Yeah, we see the gang coming together to do the song. The crew is being assembled. We see many of our friends from previous episodes. Not the Mermaid Sisters, not the Fire Brothers.
Not the Fire Brothers. I was incredibly disappointed at that.
I mean, I understand if the venue doesn't have the insurance for their pyro, but you need to say that to me. You need to tell me that the venue has banned these men. In fact, they are outside because they are still going to do the pyro if the cops show up.
Put them in a park or inside an asbestos box.
Yeah.
They cannot be denied. They were finalists on Dancing with the Mars. They must be recognized.
OG Bulldog does not show up despite his impeccable singing voice. Gangs come together. Toby says some cuss words to encourage everyone to just do this New Year's Eve live stream. Erdogan is nice about this. They go live. We sing "We Are the Mars." We are the
Yes.
children. And what I what I like about this conclusion is that no one except the audience has all the pieces, right? It feels like to Gus and Roddy that like, oh yeah, the song was what fixed the world. And actually it's like, no, How just dumped a bunch of data to law enforcement to rat out other people, and then Val got a bunch of data and ratted out Jerry and ditched her campaign. And but that's something for us. That's not like
Yeah.
no one needs to explain it to us. We just see these three, four threads come together, and it is that okay, no, like people being community minded, even if they're not necessarily in communication, can still succeed, and things turned out. And the song is good, actually.
Yes. It was a very enjoyable performance.
It's a good song. We get Gus staring down the cops, and we
Oh,
see
I
that
would have loved to
everyone
see that go on. Yeah.
and
Mars
every
Ice is not going to go there.
no. Oh man. I mean, good thing it was live streamed, or they might have acted out.
Yes.
Mm. But everyone gets happy-ish endings. We see everyone else who was not at the show get their own little vignette over the credits.
Was Willie Nelson at the show? Because I
Yes,
thought I saw
that
Willie
was a
Nelson.
Willie Nelson. That was a Willie
Yeah,
Nelson.
okay.
Many of the people who were at the show are perhaps designed to be shoutouts to people we recognized. Again, I mentioned Space Marilyn Manson
Yeah.
last episode.
Is there a Willie Nelson anime? Because I would enjoy that.
I don't know, but I bet we could. But I bet there's something.
Which, of course, leads to the question, how is 420 culture in Japan?
Well, we know that Toby has a robust crop in
Yeah.
his house. No Willie Nelson anime, I'm afraid.
Someone needs to get on that. Our
So
industry followers, get on that.
make that happen. Macross, the original, the
Yeah.
the the end of the war between humans and Zentradi is the song. It's just the music. And then
Okay.
Macross Plus, we have no music is kind of it's not the problem. It's just this thing that makes the problem worse. Here we see that the problem wasn't solved by a song really, but the public response to the problem was improved by music. And
Yes.
I think that's interesting compare because we have the music never changed anything except anyone's mind. That is harder than just, oh no, this song makes the aliens realize we're people and not just little bugs. That's part of the ending of Macross.
So, okay. The Macross thing, I got an action figure. It's nice. But I never got to the end. And so the song saves the universe, or saves Earth at least?
Yeah, like the big ending of the war because Macross is a bit weird where they bought more episodes after they were basically done writing it. So like episode 26 is like, okay, we saved the world with song. And then okay, they bought more episodes, so we need to like unpack like the how do we actually end this. It's a good idea, like this aftermath storytelling of like, okay, no, here's all these characters who got into relationships under periods of extreme stress and how they're
Oh,
maybe
that
not
always works out well.
how they're not necessarily great at being long-term couples now, and also just like no, there's all these mining colonies that are like still kind of aggro about stuff. It's a good 13 episode follow-up in a lot of ways, but it's like no, we save the world with music, and we have Macross Plus where well, the one of the characters started singing again, unrelated because not necessarily related to saving the world from the killer robot. Just she now feels confident to sing again as herself.
Yes.
And now we have this
Back on
where it's like,
stage.
and now we have this thing where, yeah, music helped a lot of people process their feelings about fascism in space, but it didn't necessarily stop the space fascism.
Requires a little bit more. Well, it
It,
requires data dumps and an ethical leader who does
yeah,
not want to work
just
for
just
someone, and
just general,
that's
just
something that's even more fictional than robots
yeah,
and AI
a moral
that
backbone.
function.
But I think the other thing I want to say is that Shinichiro Watanabe was on tour in the U.S. over the last year because Warner Brothers co-founded his newest show, Lazarus, Lazarus, Cartoon Network paid for most of it, and so he was spent a lot of time in the U.S. touring, and it was last year, so they were asking him about AI because he worked on created Macross Plus, and he created this, which are both about AI in the creative industry, and what he had to say about AI is that the cure for AI is collaboration. And he just talks about how not just the characters in these shows, but just how he as a creator is like, no, I am moving between roles all the time. I am working with studios. I'm finding new partners. Again, he could have done music for this show with anybody. Uh, he's worked with Yoko Kanno a ton. He's worked with a number of hip hop artists in Japan on Samurai Champloo, and he said, "No, I'm going to work with this Canadian guy I've never met before." And this idea that the antidote to AI is not just insisting on organically created and organically managed content, but saying that no, I want my we want our creators to work together and help each other and build each other up is really important. Um, like my favorite example, my favorite anti-AI story. You might be familiar with this one, Justin. But in the summer of 1977, George Lucas released a movie called Star Wars,
Oh yes.
And Steven Spielberg released a movie called Close Encounters of the Third. And they got to be friends because George Lucas's special effects company did models for Close Encounters. And they got to be friends. George wasn't really talking to the UCLA American Zoetrope guys anymore. He liked Steven. And they spent June, the entirety of June of 1977, in Hawaii together, just not working on movies for the first time in
Yes.
5 years each. And one day, George and Steve are on the beach and they spend the whole day building a sandcastle. And sunset, tide's rolling in, and they're drinking beers and they're watching the castle fall apart. And Steve finally brings up work and he finally says, "Hey," and he starts asking about filming on Pinewood Studios because George had filmed on the 007 stage, biggest sound stage in England, right?
Yes.
And Steve says, I really want to do a Bond movie. I really think I could, but I also know that the Broccoli's will never hire anyone who isn't British. And George says, he leans back and he sucks on his beer and he says, "My friend, I've got a guy who's bigger than Bond. And if adventure has a name, that name is Nevada Smith." And Steve says that's a shit name. And they spend the rest of their vacation coming up with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
There you go.
And
Great collaboration.
and every story about Raiders is about someone coming in and making it better and doing their best, right? Ben Bird is like, "There's 2 fucking whip sounds in my library. Can I sit in the parking lot with Harrison and record him with Bob, Olympic fencer swordmaster Anderson, doing whip noises?" Yeah, sure. We get new writers coming in and improving it up. We get Steven Spielberg bringing John Williams in, and John Williams says, "I've got 2 ideas for a theme song," and Steve says, but can I have both? And John comes up with a way that gets you both beep up, ba, 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 and then it transitions into the like he makes both themes into one song. And Harrison Ford has fucking dysentery, so he doesn't want to do a 2-day sword fight, so he shoots the guy. And the costumes master buys 15 of the same leather jacket and puts them under a bunch of tires in the back of a van and drives 15 miles down bad road in England, and then pulls them out and beats those jackets with a baseball bat in the middle of a field. And just everyone who made Raiders of the Lost Ark made it better. And AI doesn't let you do that. If Steven Spielberg had AI, he would have had it generate some James Bond movie. If George Lucas had AI, we'd have gotten Nevada Smith. And again, the cure to fascism is community. The cure to AI is collaboration, and that starts with you being vulnerable and putting yourself out there and talking about things you love and things that matter, because guess what? The world wants us to be worse people because it's easier to make money off of people who are worse.
That's very deep, Scott.
And that's why I like these two shows, because they're about people coming together and being better. And yes, that's what beats the AI. That's what beats the fascism. So that's season 2.
Yay! I just want to say something. That ending for Carole and Tuesday, to be continued in your mind. Can we just have a quick word about that?
I think
That
that's
was
just
good.
that's just them saying, like, that's giving you permission to imagine the next step that's just as good for them.
Having been around fans most of my life, Scott, there is nothing you can do to stop them.
I know, but like giving them permission. And I think part of that might be a symptom of Watanabe, the ending of Cowboy Bebop. Watanabe's Cowboy Bebop, which ends too ambiguously for some people, we'll say. And
Yes.
him being asked to do sequels to it and him saying, no, I'm pretty sure I wrote how those characters ended in those last 2 episodes, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I put all the pieces in front of you. I'm not going to have a character explain it at the end. I'm going to put the pieces down. Again, much like this show, he puts all the pieces down for you, and no one explains it all outright. But Cowboy Bebop was very popular, and
Yes.
kind of
Okay. Well, if
ambiguously.
that's what's necessary, then fine.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a very enjoyable show.
Yeah. And I think I was really interested to revisit it in the context of putting it right next to Macross Plus and saying, okay, yeah, the AI is causing doom, not at the killer robot scale, not at
No.
the drone warfare scale, but just this idea that it can be doing bad things to us at an insidious level, and there's still an alternative. And the alternative is achievable, right? Like the drone warfare AI apocalypse of Macross Plus really depends on 2 guys just being the best damn fighter pilots ever. And yeah, if that's about them getting over their beef and working together, along with Hackerman and Myung, but it's still about them being very good fighter pilots. And I'm not a very good fighter pilot, Justin. I don't know if you know that.
Neither am I. I have
Yeah.
never. These hands are too old, Scott.
Yeah. But like there are things we can do to confront AI and things we can do to make the world better. And that's, again, the cure to fascism is community. The cure to AI is collaboration. The cure to getting another podcast.
Can be brought in.
The cure to getting another podcast next month. Buy us a Ko-fi. which is also
Just a cup
community
of.
minded. Just yeah.
Yes.
If you buy us a
Community
Coke,
support.
yeah, community support, mutual aid, even for small
Yes.
things. So the next episode on the feed will be the every legal kerfuffle I can come up with for Macross. I gotta learn so much about rights issues between Tatsunoko and Big West. But also, after that, we will be moving on to season 3. But guess what, Justin?
What?
Season 3 is season 1. We're gonna finish Try Again.
I'm not going to complain about that for a second. Let's get back in there. Bring me my my blonde hair bimbo.
Yeah, yeah. We got.
I'm gonna get to see the new Millie Thompson.
Yeah, we are gonna go back to Trigon Stargaze because we gotta see how things. We gotta see the new Millie. We gotta see how things work out for Nick and Livio. Yeah,
Yeah, shaking with enthusiasm silently does not come across in the podcast, folks, but I am shaking with enthusiasm.
he got that hype. He got that hype. If you got that hype, visit hlj.com where they have Trigon stuff that you can buy. There are nice action figures of Millie Thompsons and Nick Wolfwoods. But until next time, I've been Scott, and I will see you.
There was a balcony.